Finally, after 3 long, grueling months, the Premier League is back as all 20 teams have voted to restart the season from June the 17th. For some clubs, returning is just a formality, like Liverpool, who've already sealed the title, Man City, who are firmly positioned at the second place, and mid-table clubs such as Arsenal, who are unlikely to get into a relegation scrap or challenge for European spots. But for clubs like Manchester United, Tottenham and Chelsea, it's all to play for as the Champions League spots are still up for grabs. This return is especially exciting for us United fans due to the prospect of seeing Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes link up and share the pitch for the first time together at Old Trafford. Bruno Fernandes couldn't have had a better start to his life in Manchester since his arrival from Sporting Lisbon for a reported £50 million. He won Manchester United's Player of the Month twice in the 2 months he's been at the club, and United have remained unbeaten in the 9 games they have played since the Portuguese playmaker arrived. The Portuguese has scored 3 goals and provided 4 assists so far, but that doesn't quite tell the story of his immediate impact at United. He's averaging 3.8 shots per game in the Premier League and also completing 2.2 key passes per game. In terms of expected goals, United are much better when with Fernandes on the pitch. Before Bruno's arrival, United had an XG of 47.4 from 30 Premier League and Europa League games at an average of 1.58 per game, while in the 8 Premier League plus Europa League games Bruno has featured in so far, United have an XG of 14.3 at an average of 1.80 per game. Prior to his arrival, United scored 13 goals in their last 8 games, but since Bruno's arrival, they've scored 21 goals in the 8 games that he has started. Despite 8 games being a small sample size where teams can overperform in short spells, it's evident that Bruno has made an immediate positive impact on this Manchester United side. He also breaks the stereotype of lazy number 10s as he works on the defensive side too, averaging 2 tackles per game in the Premier League and is far from a luxury player for United. Pogba, on the other hand, had an excellent season last year, where he was United's top goal scorer and assister. This season though, he's only played 8 games due to multiple ankle and foot injuries. The time off could be a blessing for Pogba though, as he's had time to recover and will be determined to make up for all the lost game time once the season resumes. Fernandes has thrived in the midfield with Pogba's absence and has been the main focal point for United's attacks. But when football resumes, Pogba and Bruno will have to be accommodated into the same lineup, and there are some questions over their ability to play with each other. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, however, was quick to put this to bed in a Sky Sports interview stating, "Good players can always play together. So how can the Norwegians set up Manchester United to accommodate their 2 star midfielders? Let's find out." In Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's favoured 4-2-3-1 system, Fernandes would slot in as the number 10 behind the striker, and Paul Pogba would have to play as a more traditional number 8 in the midfield pivot. In this system, both Pogba and Fernandes would be tasked with creative responsibility. Pogba would fulfil the role of a deep line playmaker with the permission to bomb forward into the attacking third and make late runs into the box. His Portuguese counterpart will play as a proper number 10, with Bruno finding half spaces in between opposition defence and midfield, orchestrating United's attack. However, as Pogba and Bruno aren't naturally defensive players, it will make more sense to deploy a more defensive-minded player along with them in the middle of the park to break up the play as a midfield destroyer. Nemanja Matic could play in that role, but at 32 it will be asking a lot from him to shield the back four on his own when Pogba and Bruno are out of position. It may therefore make more sense to play Fred or Scott McTominay, as both are perfectly suited to play alongside these 2 attacking-minded midfielders, with Fred more likely to start after the season he's had. Another system that could be utilised is a midfield diamond in a 4-1-2-1-2 formation, which Ole has used occasionally, notably against Everton. In this system, Bruno could play at the tip of the diamond, occupying spaces in the final third to help break the opposition lines. Pogba, on the other hand, could occupy the left side of the midfield 3, which is similar to the role he had at Juventus. This sort of system benefits the World Cup winner massively, as there'll be less pressure on him to contribute defensively, with the pairing of Fred and Scott McTominay doing most of the defensive work. In this system, the striker pairing of Martial and Rashford can drift wide, as well as interchange positions. However, the fullbacks will have a big role to play to provide width in this system, and hence Shaw could be dropped for the more attacking-minded Brandon Williams. Solskjaer could also use a variant of this system by deploying a 4-2-2-2 formation. Pogba and Bruno will occupy the 2 wide attacking midfield spots, with a defensive pivot and Fred and McTominay behind them, or maybe Matic. The width would have to be provided by either the strike duo of Rashford and Martial again, by drifting wide and then making them Henry-esque runs into the box, or from the 2 fullbacks. When searching for the right formation, there's no doubt that United are currently imbalanced and are left heavy in their attacks, mainly due to most of their creative players playing on the left side of the pitch. This system allows United to drop Dan James and add in an extra midfielder which could shore up the midfield and balance their attacks. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has also used the back three several times in a 3-4-1-2 system. The midfield in this system will look similar to the midfield in the 4-2-3-1 system, with Bruno in the number 10 role ahead of a midfield pivot of Fred and Pogba. The positive of this formation is that Paul Pogba will have less defensive responsibilities as compared to the 4-2-3-1 system because of an extra centre-back behind him. Luke Shaw has proved to be a decent left-sided centre-back, which could see Williams taking up the more attacking wing-back role. The fact remains that no formation will be a perfect fit at this point until United sign a proper right winger, hopefully Jadon Sancho. In the 4-2-3-1 system, Pogba will be forced to play in a more defensive role, which has caused him problems in the past. In a 4-1-2-1-2 or a 4-2-2-2 system, Rashford could again be shifted to the striker role after playing some of the best football of his career on the left wing. United could utilise the back four system and put Brandon Williams at left back, where he's proven himself capable enough to bear the attacking role, but has been found suspect defensively at times. The 3-4-1-2 system is by nature a defensive formation and could be used to great effect against the bigger teams, but adding an extra centre-back and taking out an attacking player will make breaking down smaller teams more difficult. It's therefore more likely that in the final 9 Premier League games of the season, we could see Solskjaer experimenting with some of these systems to find out the best one for his side. For the past 3 seasons, Pogba has been tasked with building up the play from the back and also contributing in the final third in terms of goals and assists. However, when Bruno enters the team, it takes the load off Pogba to do both jobs. With both Pogba and Bruno in the team, the two of them can now alternate, where one drops into the support role and the other can stay in a more advanced position and penetrate between the lines. The added benefit that Manchester United will get from having these two players in the same team is that they are both excellent long-range shooters. Bruno has taken 2.8 shots per game from outside the box in the Premier League, and Pogba averaged 1.6 shots from outside the box last season. This means that teams in the bottom half of the table would be wary to sit back in the low blocks, as they'll be aware of their lethal quality to shoot from long range. As a result, the forwards will receive more space to operate in and make runs in behind. There's no doubting that Pogba and Bruno do have similarities in terms of their playing style and share some world-class traits. It's up to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer now to put them in a tactical setup to bring out the best from them and the entire Manchester United side. But one thing is for sure, that when these two creative forces take to the field, the entire Manchester United fan base will be glued to their seats in front of their TVs, waiting for the magic to unfold. That's it for today then. So what do you think? How will the Pogba-Bruno partnership look at Manchester United? How will these two fit in together, and what system will Ole Gunnar Solskjaer utilise? Leave your thoughts in the comments down below, smash the like button if you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell icon and click here to watch some of our latest videos. See you all soon.